Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Sean Hicks. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for the African American Chamber of Commerce here in Western Pennsylvania. Today, I would like to thank everybody for taking time out of their day to join us for our certification webinar. Today, we're going to have Lisa Edmonds, who is the Director of the Allegheny County Department of Equity and Inclusion, and Ms. Christy Quiznick, who's the DBE/DB Program Specialist at Pittsburgh Regional Transit. Um, as you all know, the 2026 draft is coming to Pittsburgh, and starting next month, they will be announcing different opportunities for the draft. One of the things we want to make sure is all of our small business and minority business owners have certifications so they're not left out in this process. And with that being said, I will turn it over to Lisa Edmonds. Lisa, you're on.
Okay, thank you, Sean. Good morning, everyone. However, Christy Quiznick she has PRT's presentation, and she's going to start off and actually give the presentation. And I'll chime in throughout or after. Thanks, Christy. You're muted.
Good morning, everyone. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right. As Lisa said, I'm going to be discussing DBE certification with you this morning, some basics about what it is and the paperwork that is required. Sue Broaddus is my director here at PRT. I'm filling in for her this morning. So the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Program, or DBE program, is a federal program that is governed by Title 49 Code of Federal Regulations, Part 26. And it's designed to ensure that there is an equal opportunity for socially and economically disadvantaged firms to compete for U.S. Department of Transportation funded contracts. A firm must be certified as a DBE to fulfill project DBE goals as either prime or subcontractors. There are 5 certifying agencies within the Pennsylvania Unified Certification Program who issue DBE certification. Pittsburgh Regional Transit is one, as is Allegheny County Department of Equity and Inclusion. Our other certifying participants are PennDOT, the Philadelphia International Airport, and SEPTA out in Philadelphia. And once you become certified with one of these agencies, all will recognize that DBE certification. Benefits of the PAUCP, it provides, as I just said, with the reciprocity, one-stop shopping for certification as a disadvantaged business enterprise and airport concession disadvantaged business enterprise. And I'll touch on that in a few more slides. Firms with the PAUCP are eligible to participate on contracts funded by the Federal Transit Administration, Federal Aviation Administration, and Federal Highway Administration as DBEs and or ACDBEs. Some advantages of DBE certification: it's free. It provides some additional marketing statewide for your business. You have access to free training and consulting services through the DBE Supportive Services Center, provides you with some networking opportunities, and interstate certification. If once you become certified here in Pennsylvania, you are interested in doing business as a DBE in another state, there is an abbreviated process for that. And I see we have a question.
Christy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, thank you.
Go ahead, Kenneth.
Hi, the question I have is, once you're certified, is it good forever or you have to keep renewing it?
It is good as long as you continue to meet the qualifications of the program and you submit to us an annual update every year, which consists of a declaration of eligibility, which is a 1-page document, and your federal business tax returns from the prior year.
So you have to do this every year. That's it.
Correct.
Okay, thanks.
Lisa, did you have something to add, or were you going to draw my attention to that?
That's what it was. I was just gonna say, ask you if you wanted to wait to the end or you wanted to take questions as they come.
Oh, I'm fine with taking them as they come.
Okay.
So to apply for DBE certification, we encourage you to submit your application online through the PAUCP portal. It's very secure, and it provides a really nice, convenient mechanism for you to complete the application and submit all of your supporting documents. However, you can also download the PDF forms, which are the certification application and the personal net worth statement, and you can submit them with your supporting documents either by email or through postal mail. However, keep in mind there are a lot of supporting documents. Sometimes emails that we receive with many attachments get bounced into junk mail, and then the mail system is what the mail system is. So just be aware that you're not just sending us a couple papers, you're going to be sending us a whole bunch of papers. So you may be asking, what exactly is a DBE? It's a citizen or lawfully admitted permanent resident of the United States, and it's a small business concern, for-profit small business concern, that is at least 51% owned by one or more individuals who are both socially and economically disadvantaged. Or in the case of a corporation, at least 51% of the stock is owned by socially and economically disadvantaged individuals. And also, whose management and daily business operations are controlled by one or more of the socially and economically disadvantaged individuals who own it. Joshua, we have a question from you.
Yes, I was just curious, are we going to get a copy of this after the webinar is over?
I'm not
Yes.
sure.
Yes,
Yeah?
Joshua, I'll send it out to all the attendees.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
As far as the individuals who fall in the socially disadvantaged groups, the presumptive groups, as we call them, they are Black Americans, Hispanic Americans, Native Americans, Asian Pacific Americans, subcontinent Asian Americans, women, and any additional groups whose members are designated as such by the U.S. Small Business Administration. To be considered economically disadvantaged, the socially disadvantaged individual must have a personal net worth less than $2.047 million. And that socially disadvantaged person needs to own a small business that meets the SBA size standard, which is an average over a 5-year period, actually. And it cannot exceed $31.84 million in gross annual receipts, and that's an average over the most recent 3 years. If the firm is seeking certification as an ACDBE, it must not exceed $56.42 million in gross annual receipts, and that's an average over 5 years. To be eligible for DB certification, the applicant firm must have operations in the work areas for which it seeks certification at the time it applies. This is very important to note. We do not certify plans or intentions or issue contingent or conditional certifications. You have to be ready to do business in that field in order to be eligible. To be eligible to be an airport concession disadvantaged business enterprise, you must either be a concessionaire at the airport, such as run a kiosk or a restaurant or a shop, or you must be providing services and or supplies to an airport concession. Some examples are food or retail concessions, as I just said, car rental, and advertising. So the certification process goes like this. You submit to us your certification application, the signed and dated declaration of eligibility, the signed and dated personal net worth statement, and all of the documents that are listed on the supporting documents checklist of the application that apply to your business structure. I'm going to go through those documents with you now, just to give you an idea of what we're looking for each document type. And just for reference, this is a snippet of what the first page of the certification application looks like. I just like to show a couple of these snippets of the paperwork because they have changed over the years, just to make sure that if you do choose to apply on paper, you're using the most recent version of the documents. This is that declaration of eligibility that you'll need to fill out and submit along with your application. You sign and date at the bottom. Please note that it does not require notarization. And this is also the form that you would be submitting with your annual update every year. It will be this form and then your firm's most recent tax returns. And this is the first page of the personal net worth statement. And I have a big arrow pointing to as of. On that blank, you are to put the date on which you fill out this form. It's very important that there's a date put in there because this form is supposed to be representative of your personal financials as of the date you fill it out. Even if this form is complete and pristine, if there is no date up in that blank, I'm sending it back to you. So I like to make everybody aware of that. So a personal net worth statement needs to be submitted for each owner of a firm who is claiming DBE status. Page 2 of the personal net worth form does provide some detailed explanations for how to fill out each worksheet. All fields need to be completed, as I said, including the as of blank. Again, your personal net worth must not exceed $2.047 million. And this form is just for each DBE owner. If you were married, you would not figure anything owned by your spouse into these calculations. It's supposed to be representative of your individual personal finances. This is the supporting document.
If I
Yes.
can just interject here, please. So I just want to reemphasize that's personal net worth. It's your personal net worth, not business. Shouldn't be including business assets unless you have an additional business to the applicant business. So oftentimes we get business liabilities or assets in that on that sheet, and that's not what we want to see. It should be specific to personal finances. Thank you.
Joshua, you have a question?
Yes. So this just applies to either the person who has 51% ownership, or is it both?
It's just for the DBE owners. So anybody claiming that they're socially and economically disadvantaged that has ownership within, that makes up that 51%, minimum 51%. If there are non-DBE owners, they don't have to provide a PNW.
Okay, so the minority owner doesn't have to provide the personal
Yeah.
net worth.
Yes, you do.
Oh, they do as well?
When you say minority, are you referring to ethnicity or if they're less than 51% owner?
Less than 51%.
Oh, yes, that's correct. Sorry.
Okay. All right. I was just wanted to make that clear because wasn't sure who had to submit the personal net worth statement.
Right, just the socially and economically disadvantaged owners.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. So this is the supporting documents checklist. There are a lot of documents listed on here, and I know if you've never seen this before, it probably looks a little scary, but I'm going to walk you through it. The first thing is a resume for all owners, officers, and key personnel of the firm, regardless of DBE status. Please include all places of employment with corresponding dates. And most importantly, please include your business on your resume. A lot of people don't list their business because they tend to think of a resume as a document of the places that they've worked for other people. We need to have your firm on there too. Tax returns. So for each DBE owner, we'll need federal personal tax returns for the most recent 3 years, not state, just federal. We'll also need federal business tax returns filed by the firm and its affiliates, which are any other businesses that you may have ownership in, for the past 5 years or the number of years in business, if it's fewer than 5 years. I already referenced what an affiliate is. Examples of the tax returns we're looking for are the 1020, the 1020S, 1065, or Schedule C if you're a sole proprietor. And they have to be complete tax returns. Please include all schedules and attachments for both the personal and the business taxes that you're going to submit.
So Christy, do we add in there 1120s also?
Oh, I will do that. Thank you. Documented proof of contributions. Some people tend to not turn anything in for this. This is very important. It must be provided for each owner of the business, regardless of DBE status. And this is documentation of the monies that you put forward to secure your ownership in the business. Some people say, I didn't put any money into it, and they put all zeros in their application. That can't be so. There are some monies that you had to pay to get started, even if it was just submitting the $125 to register your business with the Pennsylvania Corporation Bureau. Some examples of the documentation that we're looking for to satisfy this requirement would be the opening bank statement for the firm's business account, plus a copy of the personal bank statement from where the funds originated that you used to put into the business account. Both sides of any canceled checks or receipts that you may have from purchasing equipment or other things. Equipment purchase paperwork and documentation, such as a bill of sale, any loan documents if you'd entered into a loan, and also if you took money from your retirement, IRA statement or other statement from your retirement account from where the funds were withdrawn. If your firm has any loans, you'll provide to us copies of those agreements and also of any bonding forms if your firm is bonded. Some examples are lines of credit, loans for vehicles or equipment, SBA loans, Paycheck Protection Program loans, and loans for property. Also provide promissory notes, guarantee agreements, and any other related loan documents you may have. Equipment, we need a list of equipment that your business has. Again, sometimes people say, I don't have any equipment. You have to have at least a computer or a smartphone to conduct business, right? You may have tools, you may have vehicles. We're looking for a list of equipment that has some significant value. For example, if you're a janitorial company, I don't need to know how many bottles of Windex you have or how many mops you have. We're looking for maybe how many floor scrubbers you have, that kind of thing. If you are leasing equipment, please provide us with a copy of each lease agreement. If your company has any vehicles, we'll need a list of them, copies of the lease agreements if you're leasing them, if the business is leasing them. If the business owns them, we would need the title and or the bill of sale, depending on whether it owns it outright or you're still paying on it, the registration card, and the insurance card. If no vehicles are needed to provide your firm's supplies or services, please submit a statement to us explaining that. Licenses and certificates. If you or your firm hold any that relate to the services and supplies you provide, we'll need copies of those, including permits and haul authority forms if you're a trucking company. And there are some examples here of the types of licenses there are: engineer license, architect license, a CDL, any certificates that are required, say maybe to perform remediation or things like that. Descriptions of all real estate and documented proof of ownership or signed leases. Sometimes people say, my business doesn't own any real estate. I operate from my home. In that case, we would need the deed or a mortgage statement for your home, so we can see who is responsible for ownership of that property. If you lease your home, we would need a copy of the lease. And if you happen to operate out of an office, same thing. But I just wanted to make that clarification for those who operate from your home. And the lease that you provide us must be signed by all parties and dated. Asset transfers. If there have been any transfers of assets to or from your firm and or to or from any of its owners having an aggregate value of more than $20,000 over the past 2 years, we need to receive documented proof of that, whether it's a signed agreement or something else. If you hold any other certifications, please provide us with a copy of those certifications. Some examples are National Minority Supplier Development Council, the Women's Business Enterprise National Council, the SBA, the Pennsylvania Department of General Services Small Diverse Business Program, and PennDOT's Diverse Business or Small Business Enterprise Program. Likewise, if your firm has ever been denied or decertified in the past and you're reapplying, if you have that documentation, please provide it to us. The bank signature card, this is the signature card that you signed when you opened your business bank account. If your bank will not release your signature card to you, some banks will not because of confidentiality reasons, you will ask them for a letter on bank letterhead signed by a bank official that includes the date the account was opened, the initial amount that was deposited, the account types, and the signatories on the accounts. And that's very important because we need to know who all of the individuals are who can sign checks on behalf of your business. Please don't give me a letter that says that your account is in good standing. While that's great to hear, it does not fulfill this requirement. The schedule of salaries paid to all officers, managers, owners, and/or directors of the firm, and also a list of employees along with their job titles and dates of employment. And include yourself, please. Lease arrangements, if you happen to be a supplier or maybe a trucking company and you have a warehouse or storage facility or area where you park your trucks, please provide copies of the signed and executed agreements. Unless you own those properties, then you would provide a copy of the deed or the mortgage statement if you're still paying on it. Joshua, you have a question?
Yes, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
There's the schedule of salaries, right? Is that projected?
No, that's at the time you apply.
Now, would you talking about schedule of salaries like for your business, or is it schedule of salaries from, your 9-to-5 job,
The schedule of salaries that your business that you want to get certified pays out. If you as an owner do not take a salary from your business, if you take owner draws, for example, as monies become available, then tell us that.
Okay. Is there like a document that would be required for that, or is it just, just something that you write?
It's just something you write up, and it
Okay.
can just be a few sentences.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, lease arrangements I went over. Partnership or a joint venture, if you happen to be in a partnership or a joint venture with another company, say to work on a specific project, you would provide us with a copy of that partnership or joint venture agreement. Now we're going to get into the documents that are required per business type, and corporations have the most items that they have to provide to us. We need a copy of your official articles of incorporation, the current shareholder agreement, if you have one, including any amendments, if there are any, both sides of all corporate stock certificates, the stock transfer ledger, the minutes of stockholder or board of director meetings, if any, and that's from the establishment of the firm to present. If you haven't held any of these meetings to generate minutes, please provide that explanation in writing for us so it's clear. And any company bylaws and any amendments to those bylaws if there have been amendments filed. If you are a limited liability company or LLC, you'll provide us with your official certificate of formation, a current operating agreement if you have one, including amendments. Again, minutes of any member or board of directors meetings from the establishment of the firm to present. Again, if you haven't held any meetings, please give us a written statement explaining that. Both sides of your membership certificate, if you have one, and your membership transfer ledger, if you have it. This gives you some information on what meeting minutes should consist of, your board of directors or partners meetings. They typically include the appointment or election of directors and or officers, topics of discussion, the individual who made the motion, the decision made, and the action that needs to be completed and by whom. For suppliers and regular dealers, we will need proof of your warehouse ownership or lease, a list of the product lines that you carry, and a list of the distribution equipment that you have to distribute those supplies. For trucking companies, we'll need an insurance agreement for each truck owned and operated by the firm, the title and registration card for each truck, and a list of DOT numbers. Optional documents to be provided on request. They're listed as optional on the checklist, but we request them. Proof of citizenship, which is either your birth certificate or passport. Please don't give me a driver's license. We need to verify that you were born here, or you're a permanent resident of the United States. And a trust agreement and a list of the value of the items in the trust if there is a trust in your name. So here's how the certification process goes. Once we received a complete application, that's after we've reviewed it, we've checked off that you've submitted all of your supporting documents and it's ready to move forward. That's when our 90-day clock starts ticking to process your application. And we'll send you a letter giving you that date that your application was deemed complete, so you know when that 90-day clock starts ticking. I will note for you, it's not on this slide, we do have an optional 30-day extension period if necessary, but we try to keep it within the 90 days for processing. Then once your application is complete, we conduct an in-depth review of all of your documents to ensure that you meet the criteria of the program. Then we schedule an on-site review where we conduct an interview with you and we ask you questions about how your business operates and things like that. Sometimes we can do them virtually. Sometimes we can have to do them in person, depending on the type of business that you have. And we make that determination when we do your in-depth review. And then once the on-site review is completed, a determination is made. Some do's and don'ts for the certification application. Please answer all questions, even if they seem repetitive. And this applies more for the personal net worth statement if you apply online, but I threw the certification application also in this in case you apply on paper. Please do not leave any blanks on the forms. If something does not apply to you or your firm, fill in NA. Otherwise, we don't know if it doesn't apply to you or if you just passed over that question by accident. You'll need to submit an owner's page for each owner of the applicant firm, regardless of their DBE status. And the online portion will allow you to submit additionals additional what we call owners pages. Please do not submit photos of documents. Scan them as PDFs and upload them. And that concludes my portion of the presentation. Over to Lisa.
Okay, thanks, Christy. So just want to reiterate what Christy said. Please, no blanks. Don't leave any unanswered because it can be returned to you. And so if you don't complete the application and you don't upload or submit all the documents, then your application will be returned. And as Christy stated, once it's complete, and complete means everything's filled out, all the required documents are there, that's when it's a complete application. So I just want to note that. And then Connect asked a great question early on, is a certification forever? And so you all see the application is very detailed. There are quite a number of questions on it, and there's a significant amount of documents that have to come accompany it. So that's the initial stuff. Once you receive certification, there is an annual requirement. Again, Christy stated it's a declaration of eligibility, 1 page, couple check marks, sign your name and date it, and then you have to submit your financial documentation. So it's a big difference from initial certification and your annual declaration of eligibility. So we want to make sure that if you become certified, you want to keep your certification up to date. Otherwise, you'll be decertified and you can't reapply for a year, and you will have to start from the beginning. Okay, and so I actually do one additional thing in reference to her presentation. In reference to your operating agreement, many businesses use boilerplate agreements. You want to be careful that your operating agreement doesn't restrict you from owning, controlling, and operating your business. These businesses have to be at least 51% owned, operated, and controlled by socially and economically disadvantaged individuals. And so I'll share my presentation. And my presentation really is just going to be about the electronic application. So Christy stated, you can submit it electronically, or you can fill it out and download it. So we recommend that you do it online because, there's a ton of documents. You don't want to transmit your taxes through emails or even in the mail. And so we have a certification portal, and that's what I'm going to go over.
We have a question. Connect, you want to go ahead with your question?
You're muted.
Yeah. Okay. Does it really take 90 days, or is it possible to get it done a little earlier, or if everything is submitted properly?
It can take, it just depends. So, Christy, I think all the certified participants pretty much handle applications the same. It's first come, so we handle
No,
them
I
in order
understand.
that they come.
Sure.
So it depends on how many applications we have and how
Got it.
complete your documentation is. But absolutely, it can be done in less than 90 days, but the regulations permit us 90
I
days.
understand. Sure, sure. Okay, thank you.
All right. Can you all see my presentation?
Yes.
All right. We
Okay.
see it up
Yes.
there. Can you put it in a presentation view?
Yep, sure
Right.
will. How's that?
That's it. Cool.
Okay, great. So as Christy stated, this is every state has a unified certification program. So every state offers this certification. And so in Pennsylvania, it's the Pennsylvania Unified Certification Program. There is a certification portal, www.paucp.com. So again, disadvantaged business enterprise certification. Oftentimes we hear people are requesting minority or women business certification. That's not what we offer. It's a disadvantaged business enterprise, socially and economically disadvantaged. Okay, so the certification portal is web-based. You can submit your application electronically, and the the public database of all certified firms comes through the portal, comes from the portal. So the benefits, there's no cost to certification and there's no cost to submit electronically. Multiple users can be added to your vendor account. It's substantial time, saves time, definitely saves time. And there's increased transparency. So this is what, when you go to www.paucp, this is what you will see. And so you can see here, if you want to search to see what firms are currently certified, you can search here. If you're not certified and you're interested in becoming certified, then you would click on one of these agencies. So there are 5 agencies that certify disadvantaged business enterprises in the state of Pennsylvania. You're welcome to submit your application to any of the 5. However, we suggest that you submit it to the agency that's closest to where your business is located. So if you're on this western side of the state, will be Allegheny County, PRT, and PennDOT also has an office of certification here. And, you know, it's the same application. We all process them the same. So once you click on one of the agencies, this is what you'll see. So this is Allegheny County's portal. As you can see, it says Allegheny County, but each agency has their own portal, but it pretty much looks exactly the same. And so you can see if you search under Allegheny County's portal, you're only going to get those companies certified by Allegheny County. So we suggest that you seek, or when you're searching for all companies that are certified, you use the main page. You can apply or renew your certification here. You can even look up your account. But prior to this populating, you would get this once you clicked on the agency. And so if you don't have a current account, you can create an account. You can look up your account. You can, if you already have an account, you can renew your certification. And so we use the term renew loosely because it's not a renewal. Your certification doesn't expire. So if you can look up your account if you already have an account, you don't know your password or your username. And so when you do account lookup, this is what comes up. And we suggest that you use your tax identification number because no company has the same tax identification number. It's a unique identifier. So you would know if your company's in here. Some firms have similar names. So if you put the name in here or a part of the name, another company may come up. This is a part of account lookup. If you're not already in here, it's going to tell you that they didn't result in pulling up any of your forms. If you're creating an account, again, this is what it's going to look like. And you see there's some required documentation, but ethnicity and gender is also important because, as Christy stated in her presentation, you have to fit into one of the ethnic groups or be a woman. Just some more information on when creating your account. You'll notice there are some criteria for the password. So, applying for DBE certification. So
We have
this
another
looks,
question, Lisa.
Okay.
Joshua,
Whether you're doing this either way, whether you're doing this online or whether you're submitting the paperwork, will you still have access to this?
yes, absolutely.
Okay,
And
so you
so
can view the documents you need and view the documents that are accepted or
yeah, everything is in, yes, exactly. As a matter of fact, depending on what type of business structure you have, the required documents will come up under the business structure that you select. So you have to ensure that you select the correct criteria for your business.
thank you.
Yeah, sure. And so can you all see this? Your business is currently certified. That's when you would do your renewal, or is not certified. So it says, if you're not certified, you have to be located in Pennsylvania. So it's going to ask you if you are or you aren't. If you are, you can move forward. If not, you won't be able to move forward. Then it will give you some qualifications for certification, some of the same things that Christy has already gone over, but I want to emphasize 6, management and control. You have to be an independent business. Okay, so it looks like that. I don't know why that's on here. Oh, it didn't work. That's from another slide. Please excuse this here. But when you select that your firm is located in Pennsylvania, it'll ask you if you have an active certification with one of the other agencies, because since we all operate as one UCP, you can only submit or have an active certification with one of the 5. So if you're certified with PennDOT, you can't submit an application to Allegheny County.
Would there be a reason? I'm sorry, this question.
That's fine.
Would there be a reason why? Is there differences as to why I would want to provide a certification for another agency outside of the airport versus Allegheny County?
No, I mean, it's up to the applicant to select the agency, but again, we request that you submit it to the agency that's closest to your business location. Oftentimes, I believe businesses think if they want to do business with Allegheny County, they submit to Allegheny County. If they want to do business with PRT, they submit to PRT, but that's not the case. It's one certification. It's accepted by all the agencies.
Oh, okay, perfect. And you don't have to be in Allegheny County to submit that certification, correct?
No, you just have to be in the state of Pennsylvania.
Okay. But
Yep.
thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, and so this is what I was saying when you're doing the online application. Again, you want to ensure that you are selecting the correct business structure so that the correct documentation comes up. And so you can view the application in the PNW online. It's at USDOT's website. So it just gives you those links. So once you're in here and you're setting up your application, you can have a preview of the documents that are required. So you see the affidavit of certification, the personal net worth, and all the various documents will show. Just general information.
So you
So
can
once-
save, and I apologize, I have another question. So you can save the document as you go along through it and be able to come back to where you
Absolutely.
left off and add documents as needed. Okay, perfect. Thanks.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I have to say that once you started application, I don't remember exactly how many days it is, but you'll get a warning. You have some, let's just say it's 90 days. If you don't do something within 90 days, then your application will be deleted. So you want to pay attention to the notifications that come to you through email. So any notification that comes through the portal is going to come to your email address that you've listed on your application. And so you can see it even tells you, you know, as you move forward in the application, the percent complete. And so once it's all complete, it'll show you that it's complete and it'll move from red to green.
I had another question. I'm sorry.
Sure.
So once the application is deleted, is there a time frame in which you could start another one? Because I
You can
think
start another one.
you could start another one immediately.
Yeah, you should be able to, but you can always request that your deadline for the deletion is extended because you don't want to lose what you already put in there. And it's a significant amount of time. It's not like 10 days or 30 days that it deletes.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah,
I
but
just remember the last time I tried this, I must have submitted it then and then got denied because my paperwork wasn't right.
mhm.
Now I had to wait a year to apply again. Is that
So
still the case?
if you had to wait a year to apply again, it was because you were denied. So that's a great question.
Okay.
So once you submit an application, if everything is not there, we're going to give you at least 2 opportunities to submit the outstanding documentation. If you don't submit all the required documentation, then you will be denied. And you will have to wait a year. So any firm that's denied has to wait a year to reapply. So you want to make sure that the application is complete and all the required documents are there.
In a question to that, because some of the documentation that you're requesting is very specific to the fact that you're looking for copies of front and backs of checks. If is there certain documents that are weighted to say this is important that you must have versus a copy of it front and back of a check, which you probably could provide, maybe certification or statement from your bank that says it was processed or something like that.
So you can show a copy of your bank account statement. We
Okay.
just need some backup documentation.
Oh, okay.
And
Thank you.
so again, for Allegheny County, we prefer that you submit electronically. And it's secure and confidential. So this is just showing you, as you go along, what happens with the application. So you see the various sections. So once you have an account, this is the home page, or what they call the dashboard. And so as you see here, there's a lot of information here. If you're not in here and you don't have a contract, for instance, Allegheny County uses this system for our contract compliance and for certification. So if you're not on a contract, you may not see all this information. You might just have certification applications here. But there is a dashboard, and you can configure it how you like. And you can always look up here in the corner for key actions. And I want to point out that sometimes when you submit an application, we'll send you a question. It's called a Q&A. So you can see if you have some outstanding Q&As. Also, you can take a training course. So once you have an account, there are actually training courses on how to submit your application and how to navigate the system. And so we always recommend that if you have any issues navigating the system, that you contact support. Oftentimes, businesses will contact us about navigating the system. And that's really what customer support is for. So at the top of each screen, at the top and or down the bottom, you can select customer support, and it'll take you right into a page where you can ask the question. And so that's all I have for the website. And at this point in time, are there any additional questions for the certification process or yes, Joshua?
Of course, me again. I'm sorry,
That's
but
okay, not a problem. That's what we're here for.
do we get provided like a case manager, somebody that we could speak to during the whole process? Like whenever I applied for it, it was 2020, right? And and it was just difficult. 2021, it was difficult because we wasn't able to see in person and just get to know each other, talk. I don't know. I feel like that helps with the whole process, just getting to know people. Um, I don't know. Is there something like that or no?
So, yeah, there is more than likely someone assigned specifically to an application. And so absolutely you can talk to that person about your application, but just know that we can't give you any, we can't answer any legal questions, you know what I mean, or give you any specific advice other than what's in the certification application and the documents. If you're asking us what type of document you're looking for. We can tell you some of those questions. We can
Yeah,
answer
yeah,
some of those
yeah.
questions.
No, I wasn't looking for anything more than that. I'm just, just somebody that you could talk to and speak to all the time. It was just difficult last time. That's all.
Right, 2020, 2021, yeah, COVID era.
Yeah, it was tough.
Right, exactly. And I think, Christy, correct me if I'm wrong, but I know Allegheny County and I believe PRT actually, we do certification counseling sessions, right? So you can register with either one of our offices for a session just to go over the general information in the certification application.
How would I find that?
So if you go to that's a good question. I can give you our phone number, or email address. I think it's on Christie's presentation. I didn't put it on that.
Okay.
But
I
if
can-
you're going to submit, you have to open an account anyway. You have to have an account. So even if
Yeah.
you go to the certification portal and you send a question through that portal, it will come to one of the agencies.
Okay.
But yeah, we can definitely give you our information.
Thank
Well, we
you.
put it in the chat.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking about, Christy. Any additional questions?
Just a couple questions. Once your certification is completed, what exactly do you get? You get a certificate in the mail, you get a card, or what would we receive once it's approved?
You get a letter.
You'll get a letter? Oh,
Mhm.
okay. And
Mhm.
in all opportunities to the certified companies of a list of opportunities that either the state has or Allegheny County has that you can kind of apply for if there's like the NFL draft doesn't appear that within 90 days any of us are going to get into that unless we apply outside of this certification. But if I wanted to do something else, how would I be able to see what opportunities would be available? That's
And,
kind of what I want to know.
and so I missed the first part of your question. I'm sorry.
Is there basically what I wanted to know? Is there opportunity once you get the letter? Is there opportunities that are available to companies that are certified that you can look to say, oh, look, there's a opportunity coming up for the NFL draft. I was just using that as an example
Okay, gotcha.
that certified companies can apply to.
So certification doesn't guarantee you work, right? So it is an added tool in your business toolbox. Most government entities have goals to include certified minority women disadvantaged business enterprises. And so to count toward those goals, you have to have some certification. And this is one of the certifications that they do accept. Now, I know oftentimes we do email blast to various firms about opportunities. But unfortunately, if we're talking about business opportunities, each agency has their own guidelines for doing business. So you'd actually have to check with the agency that you're interested in doing business with. Did that
So
answer your question?
yeah, it does. Cause that's what I wanted to know. If there were opportunities like the state has opportunities. I just wanted to find out how I would know about them. And I guess through one of either the PRT, through PennDOT, Allegheny County, I can actually identify or be
Right.
able to go in and find out what
Right.
opportunities they have. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, each agency, for instance, Allegheny County uses Bonfire. It's an electronic bidding software. And so we post our bids and our RFPs on BidNet, and they're submitted electronically. And so when you talk about the state of Pennsylvania Department of General Services has and I can't remember the name of the business office, but they have a diverse business program. And it's a verification program. So they do have a list of certified MBEs and WBEs, or diverse businesses, as they say. And they at one point in time, they did certification. They stopped doing certification several years ago, and they began to accept third-party certifications. So if you're PAUCP certified, you could submit that to the state of Pennsylvania and possibly qualify for their list of diverse businesses.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're
And just to
welcome.
piggyback on that, here at PRT, we have a procurement platform called eBusiness. If you register for eBusiness, and this is regardless of whether you're a certified DBE, but if you're a certified DBE, I highly suggest that you register for it. You'll receive automatic notifications whenever bids or RFPs come up that match the services or supplies that you provide. But more than that, even if you want to do business with PRT at all, you need to be registered in that platform. And if anybody is interested in registering for that platform today, because again, that's independent of certification, send me an email and I'll send you a guide that will take you step by step through that process.
Great. Very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are there any more questions? All right, well, I would like to thank Christy and Lisa for taking time out of your day to present to our members on DBE certification and actually walking them through step by step. That is awesome. I want to let everyone know we do have another webinar tomorrow on building a business plan. So if you don't have a business plan or you're looking to tweak your business plan, let me know so I can get you the link over. I will be sending out a survey and a copy of this presentation. And if you need anything, give me an email. If not, everyone have a good day. This concludes our webinar event.
Thank you.
Have a good day,
Thank
everyone.
you.
You too.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a great day.